Hey, BerryGFX here, and today I'm going to show you how to make an intro using Cinema 4D, After Effects, and Sony Vegas Pro 10 or Pro 9, doesn't really matter. Whatever. Alright, so open up Cinema 4D because this is where we're going to do the first part of the intro. And first of all, like always, we're going to change our render settings. Go to Output and go to 1280, so width 1280, and do the height 720. You can keep the resolution the same, that doesn't really matter. And make sure the frame rate is 30, because that's what you want. And now we're going to make a new folder on our desktop, and I'll explain why later. So name the new folder to whatever you want. I'm just going to do tutorial intro. Doesn't matter where we put it. So go to the format and go to PNG, go to alpha channel and straight alpha. So now we're going to find that folder that we put on our desktop, double click it, and then just name it whatever you want. Click save. Okay, we're done. We don't need to do anything else. So now we're going to add our text and materials and do the animation. So go to text object, do whatever you want. I advise not to use something really long because it doesn't work as well. So maybe like one word, max, like one word, about 8 letters or so. So I'm just going to do Barry. I'm going to go to here, put the depth to 60. I'm going to text object. I'm going to change the font to a font called Mollet. So, okay. So this is a pretty nice font. I like it. I use it quite a bit. I'll link in the description for a download, if I can find it. And if not, then it sucks. So now we're going to go to caps. Go to fill a cap and fill a cap. And on steps, make it 3, and on radius go to 4. And do the exact same to the other side. So now it rounds off the edges of the text. Looks pretty nice. You can do whatever you want for here, but this is generally what I use. So now we're going to add our materials. Double click again, uncheck specular because it's really ugly, and change the color to whatever you want. I'm just going to use a nice blue. Click OK. Go to reflection, turn this down to about 20% is good, and go to texture Fresnel. I'm going to put this down to about 20% as well. So that's good. Now drag this on your text, and now as you can see it's blue. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to make another material. Double click, uncheck specular again. Just change the color whatever you want. I mean, not whatever you want. Make it a lightish gray. Go to reflection. Make this one about let's say 75%. Yeah, 75 is good. Make the texture Fresnel and put this one to about 5%. Yeah, 5% is good. Now drag this onto the text again, but this time you're going to see these two materials here, and you want to click on this tag, it's called a tag, and then make the selection R1. As you can see, it makes it just go on the rounded part of the text. Right now it's kind of dull and ugly because they don't have any lights in. And it won't show on the back, but if you want it to, just drag another material onto there. Go to selection and type in R2 instead of R1, and it'll go on the back as well. But we don't need it because we're not going to see the back. So it doesn't even really matter. Alright, so now you're going to get your text to wherever you want it to be, and center it as much as you can. So I'm going to do something like this. Let me render this out. A bit higher. Render it out again. Alright, so that's good how it is right there. So now you're gonna wanna damn it. Yeah. Okay, now that looks centered. So now click on your text object, press C on your keyboard, and this is going to make it editable, whatever. And as you can see, every single letter is separate and you can move them to wherever you want. So I'm going to start with the B. Click on the B, go to coordinates, and we're going to make every letter fly in separately. So go to Z and type in -1000, so it's out of the screen. And then go to the R, which is rotation, and make the P -90. And make sure you have the B selected, and then start it at 0, make a keyframe. Then go up to 30, and set those two values you changed back to 0. Press keyframe, and now you can see that this letter is going to fly in. Boom. Alright, so we started this one at 0, and went up by 30, so we're going to start this one at 20. And do the exact same, -1000, -90. And press a keyframe, and then go up by 30 again. So this is 50. Make it 0, make it 0, and do a keyframe. So now, this flies in, then this flies in. It looks pretty nice. Then I'm going to click on the other letter, put this up to 40. Once again, do -1000 on Z and on P, -90. Keyframe, go up by 30 again, so 40, 50, 60, 70. 0, 0. And we're going to do this for every single letter. So now you can see the B, the E, then the R. And now we're going to make the other R go to 60 keyframes. Make Z -1000. Make this -90. You can play around with these settings and do whatever you really want, but this is generally what I like to do. So make a keyframe at 60. Go up by 30 again, which is 90. Go to 0, 0, keyframe. And now, the B, the E, the R, and the other R will come in. But we're going to have to make this more frames, so let's just go to 150 for now. Drag this arrow right here so we can see everything. So this one we started at 60, so we're going to have to start this one at 80. So drag this over to 80 keyframes and make it -1000. Make this -1000 as well. Not -1000, I mean -90. So make a keyframe, go up by 30 again, so 90, 100, 110. 0 and 0 keyframe. And now our animation is done. And as you can see, the B flies in, the E flies in, the R followed by the other R, and then the Y. And now it's done. 150 keyframes is actually perfect because you want the text to pause for a second or two there. Alright, so once that's done, we're gonna have to add a light. You can go here and add a light. You can play around with whatever you want, really. But I'm not gonna do that because I have Grayscale Gorilla Light Kit Pro. As you can see, it doesn't look that nice. So I'm gonna go to Window, Content Browser. If you don't have Grayscale Gorilla, I can't include a download link in the description, but just you can search on YouTube and then you can get it. So once this loads up, I'll show you what to do. Oh my god, load, load, load. Alright, so it's loaded. And if you have Grayscale Gorilla Light Kit Pro, it will be in Presets, Grayscale Gorilla, and then you don't have to do anything else. So we click it, add an overhead softbox, then once this responds, text messages, add a ring light, close the content browser. As you can see, now the text is reflective, well, the caps, and it looks really, really nice in my opinion. Now we can just zoom out, go to the overhead softbox, put it in the center, go to rotation, rotate it a bit, just drag it up a bit, then go to ring light, drag it so it's in the center as well, and drag this below the text. So so it won't show up in the camera, we're gonna go to light, right click, Cinema 4D tags, compositing, and scene by camera, uncheck that, and we're gonna do this to the sphere as well. Compositing, uncheck scene by camera. Alright, that's good. And now we can zoom in again to where we had it before, which was right about here. And now render it out, and this will give it a really nice reflection. Oh, and if the ring light balls appear on the text like this, you can just drag it down a bit more. So right about here should be good. And once this renders out, we'll see how it looks. Yeah, that's about perfect. We can zoom out a bit more, and then we can play it and see how this looks. Alright, it looks good. So now, make sure the render settings is in the folder and everything like I said. And just click this button right here to render it. And once this is... Oh shit. Okay, so I forgot to say something. Go to output and click all frames. And make sure it's 0 to 150. Okay, so once that's done, now you can render it, and it will render every single thing, and it will be an animation, or it will be a whole bunch of pictures. Alright, so now this is done. Once this is done rendering, I will make the After Effects part, and show you how to add flares, and then render it in After Effects. Alright, see you, stay tuned for part 2.